Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Cracking the Code podcast. I'm DJ Shifky. This is my co-host.
401 Unk. So today, Botswana King actually got deported back to Botswana for dodging the draft to the Botswana-South African War. So we had to find a new African volunteer from on Trade Me. So would you like to introduce yourself?
What's up, my friends? My name is South African King. Much better than the Botswanan King, like South Africa, 10,000 times better. Honestly, man, I would be fighting in the war right now, but I already did my service. I'm out here promoting South Africa throughout the country. Doing the braais, cooking the brogie. Bruh, so lekker.
Very lekker, very lekker. Don't you worry, folks at home. We've got the best legal team in the country, working their butts off to try and get our Botswanan King back home safe. But today we'll be interviewing Mr. South African King over here, what it's like in South Africa, some of his mottos, and we'll even be cracking the code. So shall we begin? What has been your history in South Africa?
Okay, so I was actually born as a Springbok. Okay, back when I was born, I arrived as a Springbok, not a man, alright? But then, I locked in life, and I actually managed to buy the upgrade pass to become a human, okay? At the age of 13 years old, I cooked the best braai you have ever seen, and that was when the priest, he blessed me with the braai, and then that was when I became a man, okay? That's when I graduated from being a little Springbok up into the next tier as a man. But then there was still one more tier to go. From a man to a South African king, to a king, my friend, okay? And now I actually own a farm over in South Africa where I breed mutant Springboks and all those kind of things. I make them extra big and shiny and gold. I sell them for the premium, and lots of people, my meat's the best meat in the country. Put it on the braai, cook it up nice and tasty. Whoa.
So this ritual from Springbok to Homo sapien, is this a everyday thing for the South African people? Does everyone go through this transformation?
No, it's more of like a one-time kind of thing. Some people, they just get lucky and they come out straight as a man. But some people, they come out as the Springboks and they have to realize that they're actually deep inside got the potential to become a king. Okay, so for all those Springboks out there, all our Springbok listeners, make sure, guys, put in the work, put in the hard work, make a lekker braai, and you will be promoted, my friend. I believe in you, okay? I believe. Just make sure to follow the key principles which you'll learn about on this podcast.
Well, really superhero backstory stuff there. Do you have any questions for one, Unk?
It's sort of like building up from nothing.
Yeah.
Kind of like in business. Would you like to tell me a bit about business, DJ Shifky?
Yeah, actually, I mean, I've kind of covered all the bases in the previous episodes, but I think it's all about wording to try and secure that deal. I think there are some words you shouldn't say in business. First one, cheap. You never say cheap in business, because cheap means low quality, low price, right?
Yeah, they're not going to want to buy it.
Instead, you say affordable. This means good quality for a low price.
Yeah, it makes it seem like they're getting a good deal.
Second thing, instead of saying expensive, which shows like high price for something, you want to say premium.
Yeah, it's like not overpriced.
Not overpriced, good price for really good quality. And the last one, you never say try. Instead, you want to say explore. So, if we'd use this as an example, let's try this with Mr. South African King over here. Sell me this pen, but try and use these 3 new words instead.
This pen right here is cheap, high quality, and good value, okay? Key on the cheap. I make this cheap, high quality, okay? Would you like to buy it now, my friend? Only 20 cents.
I don't think you heard the 3 words. So, cheap is one of those words you don't want to say, and instead you want to say affordable. Instead of expensive, premium.
I did hear what you said, but I was letting out my inner Springbok, going against the grain, fighting against the oppressors, and becoming the real kings of our country. Okay, just like how the Springboks beat the All Blacks at the World Cup.
I don't even know what's happening. Let's try with you for one unk. Sell me this pen.
Alright. Are you in the market for this for a pen?
Yes, I am.
Let me show you. So here we've got our affordable range. These are like high quality. They're good price, you know. They'll last. These are good for like, you know, like office jobs stuff.
Wow, you already got me hooked.
Now over here we've got our premium range. These are a bit more pricey, you know, but they're higher quality. See, these are the ones the guys on Wall Street are using, like Jordan Belfort, you know, Mark Zuckerberg, you know, those guys, those investment bankers. And that pen is going to make you write down like more ideas.
Wow.
It's going to make you more money because like it's easier to use, so it's easier to express your ideas.
Wow.
And ideas are money.
Wow, that's crazy. So, should we try some options?
Yeah. How about you try this pen?
Let me just try it down real quick. I think it really works.
Yeah. It's strong, but it doesn't really glide on the paper. See, if you want to pay for that, if you want to get one that like glides on the paper, you're gonna have to pay more for our premium range, you know. Try this one.
Oh, thank you. I really like this one. How much?
See, it glides on the paper. It's faster to use, so it's faster to make money.
Wow.
It's all about efficiency. It costs more, but you're making more money.
So how much for this pen?
So this premium one, it's gonna cost you $59.
It's pretty pricey.
Yeah. But this cheap one is gonna cost you $10.
As in the cheap one I didn't like?
Yeah, you didn't like it.
So why would I buy it?
Exactly. You buy the premium one.
Oh wow. No, you really put me into that loophole there. I'll pay here.
Yeah.
I think that was really some great stuff. But when you're in the business, you're not really selling pens, are you? I feel like you need to sell your own product, like biltong.
Just want to touch back on what you're talking about over there. That really reminded me. I saw what you're doing there. You give him this item to start him off at, right? And he thinks, yes, I'm coming in with a low budget, so I'm going to go for this one. But then you offer him one. This one, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Sucked. So terrible. Okay, but then you offer him one, the next tier above. And the next tier instantly becomes more attractive, even though you make more money on the new tier. Now, this kind of reminds me of when back home I used to sell the Wildebeest. Wildebeest, worse than the Springbok. But you give them the Wildebeest, and then they decide, no, not good enough for me. I want the Springbok, and that's how you make the big money over in South Africa. Okay.
So, do you sell Springboks?
No.
Because I feel like if you're selling the Springboks, isn't that like kind of like human trafficking kind of stuff? Because were you a Springbok? Don't people start as the Springboks, so then you selling them? Wouldn't that be like buying humans?
No. I don't deal in any natural South African wildlife. Okay, I promise my whole life, if the South African government is listening, I never sold any Springboks, rhinos, rhino tusks, anything like that. I'm clean as a whistle, okay? I made all my money from my pen. Emerald mine. No. we change subjects, please? Please.
Absolutely. I don't even know what gang signs you were holding up. I think you're like crossing your fingers, something like that. But anyway, we can change subjects here. I mean, I've always wanted to ask you this. Why did you come to, the place we are now, Shifty City, coming from South Africa? I thought you loved South Africa. Why did you come here?
No comment.
Alright. People say South Africa's a bad place to live. I mean, is this true?
No comment.
Alright, well, if you keep giving us no comments, then we're going to have to kick you off of the podcast here.
No comment.
I think if you do it one more time, we're going to have to kick you off, sorry.
I reserve the right to not answer.
So we had an immigrant on our podcast.
Yeah.
We had an illegal immigrant break on. Don't worry, he's gone now. No, it wasn't South African King. Someone else, don't worry.
Can we touch back on sales and can we talk about the rule of creating urgency and stuff?
Oh, I've heard that one.
Yeah. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Oh, well, basically, when you're dealing with these sales, the longer your customer thinks, then they can see the flaws. Because if you think for a while, you're going to be like, maybe I don't want to spend this much, maybe I just want to go cheaper, maybe I'm being ripped off here, right?
Yeah.
So, what you want is you want them to buy your product immediately, so they have time to consider the cheaper options, because you want the money. And I think a really good way of doing that is through sales, alright? If you have these low sales, 10%, 20% off, but you have an ending. You have that ending date, then when they come in, they're gonna see the sale, this is gonna end soon, so I should get this right now before it ends. And that's what it does. Also, if you have more of a store with adverts, you can also get this 50% off store wide, right? You're gonna go in and you try and get as many things from the store on that sale.
Yeah.
It's all about the urgency, and then you can get that value off the customers.
Yeah, in business, it might seem like you're ripping people off, but if you're coming into business and you can't see the people that are ripping them off, you gotta use these tactics, and it's every man for himself, No one made these billions for me. I made it for myself. I had to use these tactics,
Yeah, I mean, there's only one CEO, and in my business, that's just me. I'm the one producing the beats, so I should get the money for the beats. If someone's making the cover art, then they should get the money for the cover art. You know what I'm saying? But I make my own cover art, obviously.
Yeah. Don't expect the money to come to you.
I think you're right there.
Yeah, my friends, I got a question for you, okay? Want you guys to know, have you ever tried the legendary braai broodjie? Cooked up on the braai, get the babe to braai it. Have you guys ever encountered such a substance?
On my world tour through Africa, I actually had to stop in Johannesburg, and I did actually try the legendary delicacy, the broodjie. Have you ever tried it?
I've never tried it.
You're missing out. It was home cooked. Hard to describe it with words. But honestly, it's one of the best foods I've ever tried. Are you familiar with the business? I mean, obviously you are.
Of course, my friend. Most lekker braai I've ever had was once I was walking the streets, not even streets, the desert of South Africa, deep in South Africa. And this springbok, he came out from the trees. He came up to me and he said, my friend, would you like to have a braai with me? And of course, I said yes, being the inner springbok that I am. So we walked over to these trees, and then he had his whole family over there, night babe, all of that. And we cooked the biltong on the braai, and the brogi, and bro, that was the most leckerest brogi I've ever had. Now, after I left, I tried to return back in my helicopter to see if I could, say hi to this guy, get his number, maybe have a talk to him. But he was gone, like a ghost. Now, I have been told many times that maybe I was just hallucinating, the heat of the safari. Maybe it was messing with my head a little bit. But no, I will never forget that, bro. Never.
I mean, like, maybe it's sort of more of a dream. So, I heard you're quite a dabbler in substances that alter the brain's thinking. Do you think that this experience was a result of maybe an injection or something like that?
The only substances I consumed during that day was this green-like substance. It's very green, called matcha. Matcha, green, healthy. I was reading my feminine literature, and then I took a sip of my matcha, and this guy, that was when I met him. So walking through the safari, reading, sipping my matcha, ceremony grade, direct from Japan. Scrumptious, my friend.
That is truly inspiring stuff. Have you ever tried matcha?
I have.
Really? I mean, you seem like quite a zip kind of person.
Yeah. This actually reminds me of the time I created a matcha empire.
Oh, I heard about this.
I was selling matcha, and I created this trend called being performative.
Oh, I've heard of this word. I've heard of this.
I created this false trend. It was a brand. You see, in Japan,
It was false?
Oh, I had a monopoly on all the matcha.
I've played that game.
So then I created this propaganda called being performative. And it advertised this. And suddenly everyone was drinking matcha and using cordyceps. Yeah.
I mean, it really spread like wildfire there.
Yeah. And I controlled the supply and the demand.
I mean, if you're selling the quarter zips that lead to the matcha, and then you're also selling the matcha that leads to the quarter zips, that's infinite money right there.
Yeah. But then the CIA took me down because I was getting too many black kids out of the hood.
You're right. I mean, like, they used to be in Nike Techs, but now they're moving up to the suburbs, sipping matcha, wearing their quarter zips, reading feminine literature. I love that.
Please do not mention the P word around me, okay? The P word, it's my trigger word, okay? I can't handle that, man. The P word, man. Takes me back to a long time when I was a little springbok living in the forest. The P word, man. That's bad stuff, bro. So these little kids, yeah, they were drinking this substance called grass. They put it in this cup, and they made sure to put it all on one side, ground up the grass. Honestly, it's a green-like substance. It's green, and it's from Japan. No, South Africa. My bad, okay? But then one day, all the supply of grass just gone. But now, I think I understand where it all went. Mr. P-word over here.
Weren't you just saying that you were having matcha before?
No, remember, this was before the great grass shortage.
I can clearly tell that you're not new to the word short, but no, I can definitely see how it's really a hero story. It's all about controlling the supply and the demand.
Yeah.
I mean, on top of controlling, I've actually managed to control and manipulate time. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. If you think it takes 24 hours for a day, like some dude in a cave like 200 years ago thought, right? So basically, I've split my day into 3 days.
How do you do that?
See, basically my first day, that starts at 12, midnight. That goes 6 a.m. That's my first day. My second day is from 6 a.m. to midday, 12. Boom. That's day 2. And then from midday to 6 p.m. That's day 3. I'm getting 3 days in the time it takes you to have 1 day. okay? So I can get 3 times as many things done. Alright? 21 days a week. 21 days a week. Stack that over a month.
21
You're
days
done.
a month? Oh, sorry, guys.
Stack that over a year, you're toast. Stack that over 5 years, my life is completely different to how it would have been. And if you adopt this strategy, you can go places.
Sounds like you cracked the code.
I really did crack the code. It's all about, the boundaries that the world puts on you. Like the boundary of a 24-hour day, where you can just crack that.
See, I think I saw this somewhere. Have you heard the story of Henry Ford?
Never heard of him.
See, in like the 1700s BC, basically, there was this guy called Henry Ford, and he created like most of the cars in America. And like, he created this 24-hour day in a day work week.
Wait, I know that name from somewhere.
He like reinvented like America. Like,
wait, that name, Ford. Wait, did he start Nissan?
yo, bro.
Wow. That's crazy. What else happened, yo?
And basically, he just like reshaped society so that he could control the supply and the demand. See, his workers would buy his cars because he would give them discounts. And then they would build roads and stuff around the cities so that people needed cars. And he reduced the trains. So he basically like rewrote society and cracked the code. But if you want to break through his society, you're going to have to crack the code.
You need to crack the crackers to crack the code. The people who crack the code need to be cracked so you can code their crack. Alright, we've actually got some comments from the audience. We'll read out a couple. From Mr. Owis Sahib. Brop. He said, Brop. Gosh. Hearts emoji. I'm such a gassy guy. Teehee. Let's out a big stinky milky fart. I mean, don't worry, your comment will be reported and sent to the legal team. Mr. Lockland Bodger. As a businessman trying to rise up like the bamboo, this podcast, despite its mere 2 episodes, has helped me more than any professional could. This is my question. How does it feel to be idolized by people such as myself? To be known as you are for your business. How does it feel, and how can I improve myself to match myself to your glory? If you just listen to our tips, that's how you're going to figure out how to do that. Thank you, Lockland.
I'm feeling pretty grateful for like being noticed in public and stuff,
Yeah.
Pretty humble and down to earth, bro.
I always have that. Sam has said, how do bamboo getting older relate to the casinos and business? Please tell us. You don't have to wait any longer. Your savior is here. So I think the bamboo, it's all about knowing that your time is going to come. And when you're in that casino and you're losing, that's the bamboo in the ground. And that bamboo knows it's going to grow up.
Yeah.
You know you're going to win at some point, so you got to carry on.
It's about like making progress. See, the bamboo was underground and it was growing, but it was growing slowly. And then all of a sudden it shoots up and grows super fast. So it's like you're not going to see the progress at first, but then all your hard work will pay off and you're going to make your billions.
If the bamboo gave up while it was underground, it wouldn't go anywhere. So when you're in the casino losing, if you give up, you can't win. You're going to shoot up like the bamboo. There's your answer, Sam. Thank you for listening to the Cracking the Code podcast.
Alright. Let's talk about, like, you as a DJ.
Well, I'm something of a... I would say the greatest DJ in the world. And it's all about that brand. I don't know if you were in the DJ world, but my name kind of came out of nowhere, like the bamboo. Just started DJing. You just need to find a good track. Just figure out how to DJ. I think you either have the spark or you don't.
Alright, we've just had a comment come in from Freedom Tonga.
Oh, live.
Oh, yeah. And what he said is actually pretty offensive, and that's false allegations. There's, like, no evidence for that, and I think you should take that back right now before I get my legal team on you.
Yeah, Freedom, you're not going to be very free when we're done with you. Legal team, sit in prison.
Yeah, you sound like a horrible person, and you sound like you're homeless and a bum.
100%. You live in maybe, like, the trap house or something like that, you know. Homeless.
But did you know that I actually grew up in the trap house?
Wow, really? I thought you grew up as a springbok in the safari of South Africa.
Springboks can live in trap houses, okay? This is what you need to get your head around, my friend. I understand. You need to stop being racist towards the Springboks. Springboks are not that different from you, okay? How do you think that I transitioned from being a Springbok into a person? Okay? Look, that's what you need to understand.
But you grew up in South Africa and the trap house is in Auckland, New Zealand.
I reserve the right to not answer that question.
Wasn't even a question, but no, I can completely understand how you lived in two places at once. Thank you for your insight. And I think it's being able to spread your expertise over multiple bases that can really give you success in business. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Like, you don't just want to be working one job. If you can work two jobs, you should be working those two jobs, because that's double the pay, isn't it?
And it creates more security, because if something goes wrong in one job, you'll still get paid from the other job.
Preach. I think that's really some great stuff.
That's sort of like what I learned on Wall Street, bro. Like, the market can crash anytime.
I think I can really tell that you grew up in Wall Street. Because, like, you look like a wolf.
Have you ever heard of the 401 Unk of Wall Street?
Wait, I have. Doesn't that have, like, Leonardo da Vinci in it?
Yeah.
Wow. Great stuff. I love that film, actually.
See, it was actually based off of a true story.
Ooh, who was it?
You're looking right at him.
Wow! Oh my days! Wait, can I have your autograph?
Huh. If you want my autograph, you're gonna have to buy this pen off me.
Here's my money.
But you could either buy this affordable pen, it's high quality, durable, or you could buy this premium pen, and I could write the autograph faster because it glides faster. So you're saving time, and time is money.
So how much?
It's like an investment, you know.
How much for both of them?
That's gonna be $200 for the premium one, and $199 for the cheap, terrible, broken, second-hand, gum-stained one.
Yeah, here's $199. I got all day.
Oh. Okay.
Where does the name 401 Unk come from?
It comes from when I was a kid, growing up on a farm in,
South France, right?
yeah, South France.
Yeah.
See, there was this baguette shop, and I would always go there every day. And this baker, he fell in love with me, and he taught me how to make baguettes, and he gave me the name 401 Baguette.
Wait, and then you took baguette and you turned it into Unk.
That's right. It's about adapting. And then I sold these baguettes because this guy, he taught me how to make the best baguettes in France.
Wait, you actually have some of your baguettes here. Can I try one?
Sure.
Yes. Tastes just like home. Did I tell you the time that I actually grew up in Paris?
No, you didn't.
So, have you ever heard of the Eiffel Tower?
That's in Italy, right?
No, Paris.
Paris,
Italy.
Paris, New York.
Yeah, that's the one. So, the Eiffel Tower, basically, at the very top, that's where I was born.
On top of the world.
Exactly. It's actually quite ironic, because I started on top of the world, and look at me now.
You're still on top of the world.
Still on top of the world. That's how we like it.
People say all good things must come to an end, but clearly that is not true. Long live 401 Ankh and DJ Shiftki. Okay, now, did I ever tell you the story of when I fought in the South African War against, let's just call them Botswana, okay? So I was fighting against this fictional, not real country called Botswana. I was fighting in the water with my bro Nachos, shooting the large machine guns. Big damage, bro. I got so many elims, bro. So many elims. But then, this little British kid, he came up behind me, and his name was Eli. Okay, came up behind me, and he started talking. He's like, sir, I need to sip my matcha. He was sipping his matcha on the battlefield. What are you doing? There's no grass here. It's all been burnt.
That's a new enemy, though.
Bro, and then
This is target practice.
I was about to whip some sense into him with my whip that I use.
I wouldn't have whipped him. I'd just shoot him.
But then he started saying, I'm low-maxing. I'm raising up the house. I'm raising her up. I'm low-maxing. Bro, how many times do you low-max every day? Probably about 6 or 7 times. 401 Ankh. And I was like, my God, I know that guy, 401 Ankh. He's one of my bestest friends. And then this kid, he was like, I hate 401 Ankh. He's the worst. That was when I shot a bullet. I mean, that was when I gave him a nice hug and told him that he should probably go home to his mama. Yeah, okay.
Did he make it home?
I reserve the right to not answer that question.
Thank you. Poor kid. So get on the wrong side of Mr. South African King.
Seem to be reserving a lot of rights to not speak. And that reminds me of the time when I was on trial with Epstein for untrue allegations, you know. They're just false, bro. And I reserved a lot of rights because, you know, the Fourth Amendment is actually meant for the innocent. And the Supreme Court even ruled that, you know.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to reserve my rights as owner of the podcast and politely kick you off the podcast. We don't deal with, allegations like that.
Yo, I think the lawyer is here to talk to you.
Thank you very much. We have actually been investigating the files surrounding Mr. Jeffrey Epstein and Mr. 401 Ankh. Real name, DeQuavius Lamar. And it seems like the allegations are true. We're going to have to kick you off of the podcast, sir. Yeah, no, you're out. Yeah, this way. Don't live with that.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. You have to dog.
And what? Sorry about that, people at home, but I think this is a really good place to stop the podcast. Thank you for listening to the Crack and the Code podcast, episode 3.
Guys, Botswana King, he just sent me a text telling me next episode, Santa's gonna be in there, gonna be having a braai, gonna be lekker episode. Make sure you tune in for the next episode next week on December 14th.
I'm busy.
December 13th.
Got a concert, yeah, okay.
Alright, December 13th it will be. Guys, make sure to tune in. Next week, December, Santa's here. Got the braai, got the marshmallows. Gonna have another special guest. Mr. Basketball.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right. Thank you for listening to the Crack and Code podcast. Hope you all have a good day.